They want you to save the date for the BHAP Conference 2018. Ball House and Pageant Communities, Conference on Leadership and Health Disparities. The theme, Having a Ball, Building Alliance, Leadership, and Legacy. Thursday, September 27th, 2018. Saturday, September 29th, 2018. Dallas, Texas. Registration opens July 1st, 2018. More information at www.aboundingprosperity.org. They want you to save the date. The Masquerade Ball. Date, September 29th, 2018. Time, 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. Doors open at 11:45 p.m. LSS starts at 1 o'clock a.m. Location, Longhorn Ballroom, 216 Corner Street Road, Dallas, Texas, 75207. Commentators, the icon, Jack Mizrahi and Jay Blonick, along with legendary Deshaun Lanvin. Free all night. Categories include House with the Most Texas, $2,500. The Spectator, Best Dress, $200. Women's Body versus Sun Queen Body, 1 cash, $200. Sister versus Sister, 2 trophies, 1 cash, $250. Female Singer Performance, $500. Sneakers versus Sneaker, $250. Performance as a House, $500. Female Singer Evening Gown, $350. Female Singer Foot Iron Bag, $500. Team Realness, any realness, pair, only 2 for team, $400. Grand Prize, Sun Queen Face, the definition of beauty, $3,000. Mini Grand, Best Dress, $1,000. Over to All Runway, $400. Male Figure Foot and Eyewear, $500. Butch Queen Face, $700. The Distinguished Gentleman. Mini Grand number 2, Male Figure Sex Sirens, $1,000. They want you to save the date. 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 To save the date.
Still dragging us, so don't trick up, jumping. LaBeija. You're tuned in to Juicing with the Jays, hosted by Jason LaBeija.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Juicing It with the Jays. As the intro said, I am Jason LaBeija. So how the hell are you? How was your weekend? How was your Tuesday? We are a couple of hours away from it being Hump Day Wednesday. We have all made it to the middle of the week. Yes, how are we? How are you? Tonight will be many things. We're going to start off calm, cool, and collect. And around the 11:30, 12 o'clock hour, we get a little risque, and we used to call that Butch Queen hour, but a lot of the Butch Queens don't like being called Butch Queen, so we're just going to call that Man Talk now. So around 11:30, 12-ish hour, we're going to have what we now call Man Talk. And in the Man Talk hour, we will be, hey Jermaine, how are you? Hey Red, how are you? Hello, Mala. In the Man Talk hour, we will be discussing, I saw a post earlier in the week, and it had to do with status, and it had to do with, I guess someone made a post on an app, a sex app, or whatever app you want to look at it, and they were they basically disclosed their HIV status, and someone basically said or felt like that they didn't approve of someone putting their status out before I knew their name. So basically they were saying, you told me your status and I don't even know your name. I basically felt like in 2018, I can respect the person that's more so going to tell their status than the person that you go out with, you've been dating for months, you've been sleeping with however you choose to sleep with them, protected or unprotectedly, and they never tell you their status, and then later on you find out that they were that way. We're going to also, we're going to talk about terminology, good and bad terminology and stuff like that, because I recently learned a few weeks ago, and I'll share that story, that some of the terminology that I was using was wrong when it comes to certain things. So we're going to talk about that too. Of course, I know some of you are still caught up in that beef, if you really want to call that a beef. So I'm quite sure my partner in crime, and since I've already said my partner in crime, let me bring him on. For those of you that don't know, and please mind the gray, I'm looking a little rough, because it is what it is. Justin, you are on the air, the yin to my yang, the pepper to my salt, the heavy to my D. Can I finish your intro before you finish talking, please? The heavy to my D, the petty, the P-E-T-T, the Y to my petty. Justin, you are now on the air. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. You could have got some just for me for that gray.
But you know what? I see that this is why he is the petty to my whatever. You're right. I could have got some. You're right. I could have got some just for whatever you just said for the gray. But in the 2018 going into 2019, I am okay with the gray, because every single one of these gray hairs that I did not earn, one of my friends, maybe you or someone else, has stressed me. So for every one of these grays, it is attached to a friend or a situation that I've gotten through or that's a testimony. So that's why I am proud. I am proud of my gray. Hashtag be proud of your gray. As long as it's gray up here and not down there, I am okay with it. Shout out to...
I'd rather have it down there as opposed to up on top.
Ain't nothing. Well, see, we might be getting a little mannish a little early, but oh well. Ain't nothing like going down on a man and you come up with gray hair, taking gray hairs out your mouth. No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm not doing it. I'd rather have gray hair up here than gray hair down there.
We gonna say that for the later part of the conversation.
Yes, we will continue that in the manly hour. Yes, the manly hour. And it's no offense to my trans sisters, because you know I do love some of the girls. So if you choose to take part in manly hour, you are more than welcome to be a part of the manly hour.
The manly hour.
Well, I guess somebody just said, I guess that meant all the girls ain't cunt, but oh well. So Justin, we barely talked about our summer because last week we had to deal with that fiasco and that place, and that shall not, like, he shall not be named, that shall not be named anymore for me. So
I mean, here's the thing. The one thing I can say going ending this summer is that a lot of that has been let go. I know you said you talked to you squashed it with that person, so it's good that you can go on to the rest of the year and that's closed. That's a door that's closed.
Right.
It's nothing negative, you know.
Right. And I don't want us to get off track. I mean, somebody once told me, and I'm a firm believer in this, that closure. People only want closure because closure is sometimes a way of reopening a door that you really didn't want to close. Because with some people, we don't get closure from. And I'm okay with not getting close. Like, there was some situations and there were some people in my life that I never got. They didn't die. I don't know if they're alive or dead or whatever. But we never had a final come to Jesus moment, like, well, bitch, I don't use, you don't use, one of those type things. We've never had one of those. It just is what it is. And then there's some people that you really don't want to close that door on them because you love them. I'm here to read it here.
Right.
And because you really don't want to close that door because you really felt like it was something there. And with everything that is going on, tomorrow, it used to be tomorrow is not promised. No, bitch, tonight is not promised. Because you might woke up this morning, but tonight might be the night, the next hour might be the hour that you go. So with me, one of the things that I did on that, I did it in the Dominican Republic, I did it in Cozumel, and I did it on this boat, on this cruise, is that I found a place where I could just be by myself, where I could woosah in, woosah out, and all the negativity of all the things that I was holding on to, I let go. I had to release because it wasn't healthy for me, and I felt like coming back from that cruise and letting that stuff go, it recharged my battery to the point where I'm okay with, bitch. If you don't like me, you don't like me. And it's nothing that I'm going to ever do to make you like me. And if I don't like someone, I don't have to broadcast that I don't like them. I don't have to tell anybody I don't like them. Right. I just don't have to fuck with them.
Nor do I have to be ugly with them.
Right. And it's just like, because God knows I am petty to the bone. God knows I am petty to the bone. I mean, I went back to listen to, because I don't know if you do it. I went back like last week to listen to some of our shows here, some of our shows when we were on Tins and Chops, and I had to like, bitch, if I didn't know me, I wouldn't like me. And then because I'm like, bitch, did you really say that and just not care? And I'm like, yeah, I just didn't care. If they don't like you, they have a problem, not you. Exactly. And I'm just like, I'm okay. So,
I know. As far as relationships, I dealt with that for a little while back. But I watched It was an episode of Will and Grace that I watched, and it's been this last season that they had or whatever. And he was supposed to get married to the cop, and the whole situation, like being able to see things from somebody else's side and see a lot of the things that you thought that were meaningful to you, that you thought were trying to make the situation better. You know what I'm saying? Could have been something that was totally different from that person's vantage point. Could have been something different.
right.
And that closure aspect is one of those that fucked up situations to get over, because especially when you just don't know what the fuck you did wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that gnaws at you, but to be able to let that go and move past it, it takes a while. And I know that feeling, and those feelings are the longest to linger around. I think I'd rather go through a deal with some shit that is really violent and final than deal with something where you have questions left. Because I'm one of people that have to have answers. You know what I'm saying? The hell out of me.
And the funny thing is, Justin, is I used to be one of those people that would sit and be like, well, what did I do? What could I have done? Or why? And it's like, and now I'm like, bitch, you sitting there wondering what you did, how you did, or why you did it. And they living their motherfucking life. And they ain't thinking about what you did or because 9 times out of 10.
Or how you even feel.
Right, because 9 times out of 10, it wasn't even you. And the sad, fucked up part about it, yes, this is a cussing show, so it is what it is. And the fucked up part about it is them bitches probably gave you warning signs. They threw up smoke signals. They probably told you every time that they saw you, bitch, I don't want to be around you. However they did it, they probably told you, I don't want to be around you. Why? Because I know that it's been people in my life, and if they're watching this, forgive me now, because I know it's been people in my life that they've come around, and in my mind, I'm saying, why are you here? Why are you still here? When will you leave? And I know that, and that's probably why I'm single now, because I've done some fucked up stuff to some really pretty good people, but I was in a fucked up place when I did the fucked up stuff, because I didn't really know how to appreciate this person or these people that really cared about me. If you understand what I'm saying. So, go ahead.
I understand what you're saying, but see, sometimes you have to be able to get that self-reflection, and because a lot of girls, to me, they go from one situation, and I guess because with us being older, the process is I won't say slower, more subject to sit in our situation before we hop out of a situation and go to something different, but you have to be able to look back and say, okay, well, what did I learn, or what can I learn, or what can I pull from this situation that made it bad, or whatever, so I can actually work on myself.
Right.
So when I step into something new, it's something totally different. Not saying that anything is wrong with you, but maybe it was some things you could have worked on, or how you addressed it, or how you reacted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's one of those things, like, you almost need a second psychologist or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird, because I'm like, I sit back, and it's like nights like this, like it's a rainy week. And it's nights like this, like it's a rainy week. And I'm like, okay, when I in this show, I'm like, damn, I wish I had a cuddle buddy, or I wish I could had bae that I could call. But then I'm like, well, bitch, when you had a bae, you didn't like the way bae breathed, so you would get irritated, and then you would be like, don't you want to go home? And so it's like, you can't have it. you can't have it both ways. Or then it was like, okay, y'all done what y'all done, and then Bay says something stupid like, I like bananas on my peanut butter. And I'm like, bitch, but what the fuck did that have to do with the fuck what we was talking about? Don't you want to go home? And now I have a home. And I'm like, bitch, don't you want somebody in your home? So it's like this last month of reflection has just like really, really been crazy. Whatever. If I'm a hoe, you're a hoe, and we hoes together. I hoe on Monday and you hoe on every other day. This Butch Queen it's not Butch Queen hour already. We were just there, but I'm trying to gradually get us back. So anyway, Justin, because we can pick this up at Butch Queen hour, because some smart ass Butch Queen is already saying, is this Butch Queen hour already? Where this ain't even Butch Queen hour. This is just us talking. But so Justin, a lot has been happening, and a lot has been going on. A lot has been happening, and I'm talking about, first of all, I'm just going to say I'm very proud. Not only am I proud of Nike, which I had to do my research on a lot of stuff, and I'm gagging because I really never knew that the Chuck Taylors that I own and the Converse that I buy, I never realized that they were owned by Nike. So I'm really happy about that, because it's like a lot of Nike stuff that I'm really not. I am now, but there was like a lot of Nike stuff. Like, I'm not a Jordan person. I don't own a pair of Jordans, and I would never buy anybody a pair of Jordans. But there are Nikes that I like. There is some Nike gear that I've seen now that's like right up there next, and everybody knows that I love Puma. So there's some Nike gear that I've seen now that I'm like, okay, bitch, I think I'm going to be rocking Nike like I rock Puma. And I'm like really proud of them. I'm proud of Ford for Colin Kaepernick being your spokesperson for both of those things. So now that I'm on the market for a car, I might be getting a Ford, because it is what it is. But I'm gagging at, one is a pair of Nikes that I love the fact that they came out with these Nikes that look like they were set on fire. Them things are like the dopest thing. I hope that is a real sneaker, because I want that sneaker. But I am just gagging at all the foolishness that I have been seeing on Facebook, with people burning their feet with the shoes still on, people setting their houses on fire, people setting their garages on fire. It's just been crazy. And then what is going on down there, where I saw something on the news where like somebody was excavating their home and doing stuff and found this mass grave of
this guy that was it was this guy that was basically, these people own this home here in Mississippi. It was in Jackson, and they were basically remodeling their home. And the home that they had was actually owned prior to that by this Ku Klux Klansman who had gone to jail for actually murdering 2 black men and torturing them and stuff like that. And unbeknownst to them, they were ready to pull up their plot of land, the rest of the plot of land, to try to excavate it and stuff like that.
Thank you.
And they found 50 more bodies of black men.
Wow. So,
that's just crazy. But, you know what I'm saying, you never know nowadays who, these people are crazy. Like, slap crazy.
You know what, when I saw that, I was like, at first, I'm like, okay, bitch, this is another one of them Facebook fake news type stories to try to upset people and get people in their feelings and all that other kind of stuff and start the Civil War. And then, as I got more into it, I'm like, no, this shit is real. I mean, I don't know what I would have done if I owned land. One, if I owned land and was having work done, and I think I would just leave and just. I know how I felt like when I moved in here and I was cleaning out the basement and I had to move the washer and it was like the skeleton remains of a mouse. Bitch, I was just like, I don't want to be here. So I don't even.
You know what? And that's weird because I've actually been thinking about that too. Because I want to move in my area. I want to move somewhere else, and I'm really skeptical about going somewhere else because like I've been in my spot for a little minute. I already know the vibe. I already know the spiritual energy that's in here, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm really paranoid about going to different spaces and not knowing what the history of the place is. You feel what I'm saying?
Right now, it's just like, bitch. Okay, fuck Carfax. I need the house facts on who lived here, how long they lived here, and what they did and what they did here. But I think that in one way, because probably, they'll probably never find out who those people were, because I know they said some parts were mutilated and things like that. So those families will probably never get the closure that they need to know that, this is why we never found such and such, because he was in this mass grave with all these other bodies. So that to me is just, that was just like weird. I mean, that was just like, that was the
I was going to move immediately. Like if I was somewhere and that was going on, we would be packing my bags the next day. I couldn't do it.
So then, on top of that, we've been talking about this at work for the last 2 days since it happened, and some of my coworkers are on one side of the fence, and I'm on the side of the fence and we're getting ready to talk about the African American man that was killed in his own home minding his business in Texas. And I'm not one quick to jump on bandwagons and repost stuff until I actually have facts. Because like there's a bunch of different pictures floating around saying that this is him and this is her and this is him and this is her. And it's like 1 minute, I know that's him, but it really doesn't look like she's in the picture. But I'm just I really find it hard to believe that, because I know the inside and outside of my home. I know the inside and outside of my sister's house. I know the inside and outside of my place of employment. So,
right.
If my address is 1008 and I walk up to 1608, already I know that I'm not at the right place. And I don't want to, you're not going to tell me that this woman, she worked 16 hours. Time for me to say good night. No, good night, Red. Love you. Take care. Hopefully I get to see you next week. Red, I'll be up there next weekend, so hopefully I get to see you. I'll be up there Friday. Yeah, I'll be up there next weekend. I'm not going to say the exact day, but I'll be up there next weekend. But I'm not going to I'm not believing that this woman just after 6, because there are days, I worked night audit. And I've worked almost 17 hours, got home, did not get no sleep, and had to go right back to work. It did not make me forget where I lived at. It did not make me forget my name. It didn't make me forget any of that. So you're not going to give...
Here's the thing, Jason. Jason, this is the part that does not make sense to me. So, they're saying that when she approached the home, so I paid a 14-hour shift. I could possibly believe. She's a cop, but my thing is, if you've been on the force for the number of years you've been on the force, this shouldn't be an issue for you. We're just going to be completely 100% honest. That's how I feel. We're going to move that to the side. So you're telling me the door was unlocked to the apartment. Number one, that's odd to me. Number two, to me, when I walk into my place, if I open the door and if the door was open and I open the place, that would be number one for me that something's wrong.
Right.
So number two, when I walk into my place, I'm gonna be able to know from the decor how my apartment looks, even in the dark. I know how my place looks.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So you're not gonna tell me you walked into the apartment, a whole apartment, a whole house, or whatever the fuck it was, and you totally just forgot where the fuck you forgot. You thought you was in your place. That just don't even make sense.
Right.
It don't make sense because you have to. I'm pretty sure you have to walk through the apartment to get to the bedroom. That don't even make logical sense. Like from the standstill, like, so you walked into the apartment, you completely paid, you already on alert because when you opened the door, you knew the door was unlocked, so you knew something was wrong. So when you open the door, you come in and you don't turn the lights on, you don't say nothing, you just you switch into cop mode, and you don't pay attention to none of your surroundings or where you are. Bitch, fuck you. You got me fucked up. And if this bitch gets off, that's some bullshit. That's some fuck ass bullshit.
And like somebody just said on a live, his door had a big bright red doormat. So you know, bitch, that when you left, you knew when you left that morning, bitch, you didn't have no doormat. That's just like one of the apartments that's just like, I'm gonna say.
If you immediately, when you open the door, if you would have opened the door and if you opened your apartment door and you feel like, okay, well, bitch, I know I locked my door today. What the fuck is going on? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You would have been looking around trying to see what the fuck, where you at. You know what I'm saying?
And then that's like another thing that is like, I'm really gonna follow this because that's like another thing that's like bothering me because it's like the story keeps changing. The story's not changing because none of the neighbors are changing their story. It's that they're like, people are saying they heard her banging on the door for like 20. I'm just turning in what y'all talking about. Give me There were like people banging on the door. They were people saying that they heard her banging on the door, saying, "You're going to let me in, open this door, let me in," and stuff like that. Then they say she shot him because he would not keep still in his own house. And that leads me to what I was going to say, where I was going to share a half of a story. Is like when you are in your home and you know it's your home. For instance, one of the apartments that I lived in when I had a lover, when me and David lived together, the maintenance people, we had a dog. And the maintenance people came in the house one day, and David didn't like the dog. And David didn't like our dog. And for some reason, I got off work. One day I got off early, and I came home. And I was like, okay, the dog's name was Bailey. Really, his name was Bailey. So I'm like, I'm calling for Bailey to take Bailey out for the walk because I came home and I couldn't find Bailey. So I'm like, okay. So then I called David because David didn't answer the phone for like an hour. So I'm like, okay, David did lost the dog and he don't want to tell me he lost the dog. He trying to figure whatever. This is what I'm thinking in my head. So when David finally calls me back, I'm like, did you take the dog? Was it take the dog to work day? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, I'm home and Bailey's not here. And he was like, well, he was there when I left. And I was like, well, did you lock the door? And he was like, no, Jason. He opened the door on his own and he walked out. And I'm like, don't be a smart ass. Because the dog is not here. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, the dog is, and this was before cell phones and FaceTime and stuff like that. So I couldn't show him. So I'm like, the dog is not here. When you get home, the dog is not here. So I'm in the bedroom. And I decide, I go to bed because I take a nap because I'm real pissed off. And I'll take a nap, I wake up, I decide, okay, I gotta cook. So I go in the kitchen and I start cooking, and I cut on the garbage disposal, And all of a sudden, I hear barking. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I open up the cabinet underneath the sink, and Bailey jumps out. And I'm like, okay, so you've been in there this long, and the garbage disposal is what makes you bark? And I call David back, and I tell him. So I'm like, David, either you put the dog did not just go and get in the cabinet by itself. So either you put the dog in the cabinet or somebody else put him in the cabinet. So he was like, well, Jason, who else could have put him in the cabinet? So now I'm like looking around the apartment. And I'm like, got my Agatha Christie glasses on, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, David, stuff is missing. So somebody is coming in here, and the person that's coming in here put him under the cabinet. And he was like, okay, you making that up. So a couple of weeks go by, and my mama said, you always, if you're trying to catch somebody, you switch up your routine and you do things differently so that you catch them off guard. So one particular day I switched up my routine, and I came home. I left out and I came back. Well, the maintenance people came in the apartment. And I let them come in, and they didn't know I was in there yet. So I let them come in, and I hear the refrigerator door open, and I'm like, this bitch about to make a sandwich or whatever. And I come out the room, and he was like, oh, maintenance, I'm here to fumigate. And I'm like, well, how are you here to fumigate anything? And I didn't put in a request, and you all are supposed to give me 24 hours notice because I have a dog. And, so yeah. So then he leaves, and I called David, and I'm like, David, I told you somebody was coming in the apartment, and I caught him. So then he gonna say, well, Jessica Fletcher, why wasn't you at work? And I'm like, well, had I been at work, I wouldn't have caught the person that was coming in our house. But I say all that to say that even like this house, where I live at now, if I come in and I open up the door, my spidey sense will go off and something ain't right in my house. So, bitch, your spidey sense didn't go off. You knew you wasn't in the right house. You can't. I honestly believe, I don't know how they knew each other, if they was dating, if she needed some kind of closure, whatever happened. But that woman killed that man, and I'm not buying she walked in the wrong apartment. I'm not buying that. You would not make me buy that for $100. You're not going to make me buy that for whatever. That woman straight up killed that man. That was murder. Somebody just said the maintenance man. Wait a minute. Somebody just said the maintenance man where she used to live at went in somebody's apartment, drank the liquor, and fell asleep.
What?
Oh, that is crazy. But wait a minute. But I got one better than that. The maintenance at another apartment that I lived at, the maintenance, I had vodka in a refrigerator. The maintenance people drunk the vodka and put water back in the bottle and put it in my refrigerator. And I didn't know until I had friends over and we were about to fix drinks. And they were like, oh, why does this vodka taste like water? And then come to find out, it was like the maintenance people was breaking in people's apartment and was like stealing shit and drinking up people's liquor and stuff. Like now, if I was to show y'all my freezer, I have liquor, like much liquor, because I think I got a drinking problem, on my refrigerator. But some of those bottles, I have I can't say what I do because then people will know. But I do things to know, like, if they've been messed with or tampered with or whatever. So, yeah. But that was that with the Texas situation. That's my take, my opinion, my take on the Texas situation is that woman knew that man or that woman, is because I do believe, and I don't want to say that the race war has started, because then I'm going to go into that conspiracy theory where white people are buying black masks and all these black feature stuff, and they're going around killing people. I don't want to become that conspiracy. I don't want to become that I don't want to become that person. But I do believe that some of these killings that are happening to us are intentional. So, but that's just my take on that right there.
Over here having a proverbial argument. I'm sorry.
And you know what? I'm thinking I'm having, yeah. So no, I was reading the text message, but I'm again. It was one of those closer type.
Let me have my 5 minute second. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. So let me see if there is anyone on the lines. Kelly said you have an upcoming scheduled episode called Juicing It with the Jays in 15 minutes. What? Ignore. What are you talking about?
Anyway, I just wanted to say, I feel like Nicki Minaj is so pressed and bitter. I'm saying that on the air because it's on our show, and I'm saying that just loud. Even though I feel like she is right, she's vindicated in doing some of the shit that she's doing, coming back and she's fighting back and whatever. I feel like what she needs to be doing is going back to the studio and remixing that album and giving us a real album and stop playing in our face. And I'm not even a fan of hers like this. And I'm saying that shit and I'm keeping it a book.
I mean, I was going to talk about that because I don't watch the Queen's, whatever the fuck that shit is, that shit show she has on I don't watch that shit show. I don't listen to that shit show.
Queen Radio on the Apple, what's the name?
Yeah, and in fact, because of that shit show, I think I'm gonna get rid of Apple because I just think I am for that. Ignore this scheduled episode. Yeah. So, I mean, I've never been a Nicki fan. Let's just say that. I've never been a Nicki fan. There are some things that Nicki is on that I respect, like when she was on Bottoms Up and whatever else it was. Those is a few songs that she's on with other people that I like. She has a few verses or things that she said that I like, but I'm not a Nicki fan. I'm not a rap fan. I'm not a hip hop fan of today's people anyway. But you are. But I am a old school hip hop fan. So I'm not going this chitty bang bang whatever the fuck screaming like cartoon characters. I'm never going to get that. I'm not really a Cardi B fan. Then I respect her from loving hip hop and I respect her gangster because I'm real. And it's like one of those, like that Facebook test. If you could hang out with Nicki Minaj or Cardi B, who would you hang out with? I would definitely hang out with Cardi B. If you could hang out with Rihanna or Beyonce, I'm hanging out with Rihanna. If you could hang out with Janet Jackson or Mariah Carey, I'm hanging out with Janet Jackson. It's just that. If you could hang out with Patti LaBelle or Gladys Knight, I'm hanging out with Gladys Knight. That's just me. So that's just me. So like I said, me and you had our little.
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
You act like I wouldn't have respect, but you act like I wouldn't have that respect or love for those artists too. Because I love all genres of music.
Right.
Like hip hop is a major one because I always, it's like since I was little, that's what I listened to. But my issue is with just the way it's coming off and the attacks and it's too much. And I have to agree with some of what Remy Ma said on the Revolt telecast that they had with the new Joe Budden show that they have.
Right.
And she was just saying nobody is really concerned until somebody really gets hurt in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now you have bitches making whole podcasts and just blasting a bitch, and you already saw what Cardi B was giving. And it's giving gang-related type shit. And when somebody really gets hurt, then everybody's going to be in mourning, people are going to be crying, and it doesn't need to be like
right.
that. And I think that, to me, as Nicki being the person that she is in the game, she should be trying to outreach to the hip hop community with the girls that are coming out, because there are so few of them.
Right.
I understand that she wants to be put ahead of everybody, but to me, if you're supposed to be a queen, you're supposed to be extending those olive branches and bringing them girls up so they can be up the right way. You know what I'm saying? You don't try to destroy somebody's career. That's some.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, but let's be very clear right now. When Nicki Minaj came out, there really, at the time that she came out, until maybe 2-3 years ago, there were underground rap, and I don't follow underground rap. Sorry, just not my thing. Got other things to do in my life. So if there were other female MCs, like they say there was this, and I'm from Baltimore, they say there's some girl, Charlie Baltimore, and I've heard some of her underground tracks and stuff like that. She never made it mainstream or whatever. So there were female rappers, but they never made it to where Nicki Minaj made it. And let me finish. And let's be very clear. She crowned herself queen. Nobody else crowned her queen. And it's easy to say I'm queen when there was no competition for you. So it's easy to say that you were queen. That's like us saying let me finish. That's like us saying for 7 years we were and we are the number one radio show listened to on a Tuesday night, which we were, and the only reason that there was because there were other shows that may have been on maybe for a week or two. They lasted, bless them, but we were what we were. Now there are other shows on Tuesday night. So for us to say we are the number one show on a Tuesday night, it would be far-fetched, and I'm not going to claim myself as king of Tuesday night because there are other shows. And the people that listen to those other shows might not listen to this show. We actually have 2 callers. Kelly, we actually have 2 callers. The first caller is 202-487. 202-487. You're on the air.
Call through, caller. Hey, y'all. So I have two statements.
Mm-hmm.
One statement is about the lady, the officer that killed the guy. So from what I understand is that they used to be a couple or something like that, and they said the neighbors were saying that she had some type of mental illness, something was off with her, so she had a tick. So when it all boils down to, it's going to come out that she was actually with the guy, but I don't know how that's going to play out.
Okay.
Actually, they had history. Yeah, they had some history. The other thing is with Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. I feel like I love Cardi B. Only reason why I love Cardi B is because she's more relatable and she's more believable. I like how Remy Ma did say, what she said, and it's very true. I think that I felt bad for Cardi B because, of course, she's going to be the one looking the craziest because, her personality.
Right.
And what it gives that hood, most people say ghetto. But at the end of the day, though, she was elbowed by a security guard. Now, she could have not only been elbowed, but she could have had more than a concussion. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm quite sure that not gave her a concussion. So I'm just like, nobody is looking at that. They're just looking at the fact that Nicki Minaj is the queen. They can't nobody get around her. It was so stupid. And then for her to make that statement, she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that would bring her in and would cause her to spaz out because she was really about that life. But when you look in hood music and quote-unquote hip-hop music, you're supposed to be able to, if anything, you should have been like, okay, she want to fight, watch out, make sure nobody else jump in, and let's get it.
Right.
How
I mean, in my whole thing, like I said last night, she went after Taylor Swift, white girl. She went after Molly Ray Cyrus, white girl. She went after it was a couple other people that she went after that were like soft. So she was like, she knew that these people. Well, first of all, we already knew Taylor Swift wasn't going to do nothing. She didn't do nothing to Kanye West. So we already knew that wasn't going to really go anywhere. Then you.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Since she's come in the game, that's all she's done. And Carla, here's my point. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think if that was Remy Ma and they was at the New York Fashion Week and Cardi had popped off like that, do you think Remy Ma would have stood in the corner?
No, not at all. But this is
like a bird. She stood in the corner like a bird.
Yeah, and what we also have to realize too is Cardi is much younger. So of course, you should be a little bit more mature, have a little bit more cool. But as Cardi stated, she was basically saying like, "You're trying to stop my bag." Who else said the same thing? Remy Ma. So
right.
And then I look back to as Jason was basically saying like, the Charlie Baltimores and the Divias and all of them. And remember, Little Kim was the queen at that time. So you didn't really hear about those other rappers. So the new emerging person, they were like, they never got really a lot of airplay. And so Nicki Minaj made a statement how she was only reason why she is who she is today is because of sympathy and payola, which is that she would pay these DJs to play her music. But that's really a hustle. Like, who doesn't do that? Like,
right.
But I'm just saying, like, now I feel like Nicki Minaj, she's not going to bow out gracefully. And I think that it just goes to show you the politics.
Here's the thing, she don't have to, but do you think she really has to bow out? Here's the thing, my thing is at the end of the day, Nicki the lyrics are ridiculous. There's no way that you can count her out. But my thing is, it's just that personality though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but even with her personality, she could be like, like there's a whole lot of Marvel characters. Everybody has their own thing. But the thing is with Nicki is she doesn't play fair in the sandbox with everybody, and I think that's what's going to be her demise because you're making people, you causing enemies. And like now you with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Tekashi 6ix9ine is he's a troll trying to cause these fake, and I think that's where Remy was coming at too because he's like all in Chicago talking about he's or whatever. It's foolishness, and at the end of the day, like even Charlamagne the guy, he was on a Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne is more like a goat mouth, like whatever he says, sometimes it comes to pass. And he was basically telling Tekashi like, you was around here, living reckless, and if you don't change, you're gonna be dead. Because they're bringing this attention, and I'm like, who is behind these people pushing them? I don't think there's really too many people pushing them.
if you really, to me, and this is just how I look at it and how I've been looking at some of the game and stuff, what's been going on, it's really what has happened is to legitimize their money. A lot of these drug dealers and the gang members have invested their money into the music industry to create their own artists, to push them. And majority of those artists are like puppets. As far as talent, it's not really, it's some there, you know what I'm saying? Because you end up having to be talented because if you're going to be successful in it and make the money, recoup their money, because let's talk about the fact that Tekashi 6ix9ine, they kidnapped him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so like on some real shit.
It's right. To me, I feel that, I don't know where this is going to go, but everything is so superficial now. That's why I think the internet is people rather go to the internet.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
What the hell? I don't know what just happened, but the show has ended, and I guess it's supposed to restart. Yeah, so we will, I don't know what just happened, but we will be right back. What the hell? What the hell? I don't even know what the hell just happened. That is crazy. Okay. We just experienced a technical difficulty. We will be right back. I'm trying to figure out what the hell just happened. Bear with me, please. Oh my God. Okay. That is like really weird. I don't know what happened. Okay, so you all can give me a second and you can be able to call right back in. Okay, so let me restart this show. All right.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host pin when...
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important...
We are sorry, but we are experiencing a problem with our system. Please try your call again later or report a problem through the...
Okay, so let me try this again, or that's going to be it for the night. I do apologize. I don't know what has happened.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host pin. When finished, press the key.
To start your show now, press 1.
We are sorry, but we are experiencing a problem with our system. Please try your call again later or report a problem through the Blog Talk Radio webpage.
To start your show now, press 1.
We are sorry, but we are experiencing a problem with our system. Please try your call again later or report a problem through the Blog Talk Radio webpage.
Yeah, this is really... I'm having a J-Rock moment right now.
We are... pin. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important...
We are sorry, but we are experiencing a problem with our system.
Okay,
Try your call again later.
Blog Talk, I guess.
Talk Radio webpage.
Now, press 1 to hear.
I guess Blog Talk was Team Nikki and they didn't like what we had to say, so they did something. I don't know. This show is not going to be able to continue because it's not letting me back into Switchboard, so I do apologize.
But we're experiencing
Yeah. I know
Please try
that.
your call again later or report a problem through the Blog Talk.
So I know tomorrow is
Now,
the
press 1.
I know tomorrow is the season premiere of American Horror Story, so we will not be on tomorrow. I do apologize. I don't know what the hell has happened, but I am going to just end this because Blog Talk is acting a fucking fool.
We are sorry, but we're
So,
experiencing a problem with our system. Please
clearly.
try your call again later
So,
or report a problem
we will pick
through
this
the
up
Blog Talk Radio
same
webpage.
time, same bat channel next Tuesday at 10. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Oh my God. I am so fucking over it. I'm over it. I'm just fucking over it.